Listen to me, beloved. There's a time in your life when you've got to make a decision. Are you going to keep being soft to everyone who walks into your life, or are you going to rise up and take control of your own destiny? Too many of us have been playing the game of life with kid gloves, treating everybody with the same level of kindness, when some people don't deserve a fraction of the grace we've been giving them. You can't keep being a doormat for people who will walk all over you without a second thought. Self-empowerment is not just a concept, it's a lifestyle and decision to take full responsibility for your own growth, well-being, and success. It's the realization that you hold the keys to your own life. No one can give you the power you seek, because the power has always been within you. But you've got to stop looking outside yourself for validation, approval, or permission. The moment you understand that the power is within you is the moment you step into the life you've always dreamed of. Self-empowerment means owning your voice, owning your choices, and owning your future. It's about breaking free from the chains of self-doubt, fear, and insecurity. You've been living with these invisible limitations, but today I'm telling you, it's time to break free. Self-empowerment begins the moment you decide to stop allowing the world to define who you are and start defining yourself. When you empower yourself, you stop being a victim of your circumstances. You stop blaming your past, your upbringing, or anyone else for your current situation. Yes, you've been through things. Yes, there have been challenges and setbacks. But those things don't define you. Your response to them does. Self-empowerment is about recognizing that you have the ability to change your story. You are the author, and no one else gets to write your narrative unless you let them. Too many people walk through life waiting for permission, waiting for a sign, waiting for the right time. But let me tell you something, the right time is now. Self-empowerment isn't about waiting for external circumstances to align. It's about creating your own opportunities and making things happen. It's about taking bold steps even when you're not sure of the outcome, because you trust in your ability to adapt, to grow, and to overcome. When you become empowered, you also become unstoppable. You stop letting fear, rejection, or failure hold you back. You stop letting the opinions of others dictate your worth. You stop playing small. You step into the fullness of who you were meant to be. Self-empowerment requires discipline. It requires you to take an honest look at where you are, where you've been, and where you want to go. It requires you to set goals, to commit to them, and to do the work day in, day out. You cannot expect success if you're not willing to put in the effort. Self-empowerment means being willing to do the uncomfortable things, to grow through the pain, and to persist even when things get tough. It also means trusting your intuition, honoring your worth, and saying no to things that do not align with your purpose. When you empower yourself, you stop wasting time on people, places, and situations that drain you. You choose to invest your energy in what truly matters, your dreams, your goals, and your peace of mind. It's time to stop waiting for permission to be great. You are the only one who can unlock the full potential that's waiting inside of you. When you claim your power, you claim your freedom. You become the architect of your own destiny. You stop being dependent on others to define your worth, and you start defining it for yourself. That's what self-empowerment is all about: taking control, making choices, and rising above the obstacles to create a life that is truly yours. Boundaries are not walls meant to keep people out. They are the invisible lines we draw to protect our emotional, mental, and physical well-being. They are the guardrails of our lives, keeping us safe, secure, and grounded. Boundaries are a declaration that we value ourselves enough to protect our energy, our time, and our peace. They're not about being harsh or rigid, but about respecting ourselves enough to not let others take more than we're willing to give. In a world that constantly demands more of us, boundaries are essential. Without them, we find ourselves drained, overwhelmed, and often resentful. People will take as much as we allow them to, and without boundaries, we become the ones who give, and in the end, we have nothing left for ourselves. The people around us, family, friends, colleagues, and even strangers are not entitled to our time, our resources, or our mental space unless we choose to offer it. A boundary is simply a clear line that says, this is where I end and you begin. Setting boundaries is not about being selfish, it's about being self-aware. It's about recognizing that you cannot pour from an empty cup. Boundaries protect you from the toxicity of others, from the expectations of the world, and from the pressure to constantly please everyone. It's about knowing your limits, being honest about them, and having the courage to say no when necessary. In doing so, you honor your needs, your goals, and your personal growth. You make it clear that your life, your peace, and your energy are not up for grabs. One of the hardest things about setting boundaries is the fear of rejection. We fear that if we set boundaries, we'll upset someone or worse, lose their approval. But the truth is, healthy boundaries are an act of self-respect, not selfishness. When you set boundaries, you communicate to the world that you respect yourself enough to protect your peace. You teach others how to treat you. And if someone doesn't respect your boundaries, that's a reflection of them, not you. You cannot allow the fear of disapproval to rob you of your right to maintain your personal space. Boundaries aren't just about saying no to others, they're also about saying yes to yourself. When you set boundaries, you give yourself permission to focus on what matters most, your goals, your health, your happiness. You stop overcommitting, overextending, and over-apologizing. Boundaries allow you to prioritize your own needs without guilt because you recognize that your needs are just as important as anyone else's. And here's the thing, boundaries aren't static. They are flexible and evolving, just like you are. As you grow, your boundaries will change. The things that once felt acceptable may no longer serve you, and that's okay. Boundaries require regular check-ins and recalibration. What worked for you a year ago may not be relevant today, and that's a sign of growth. So don't be afraid to reassess and adjust your boundaries as you evolve into the person you are becoming. Setting boundaries also means learning how to communicate them clearly and assertively. It's not enough to simply think or feel that you have boundaries, you've got to speak them. You've got to stand firm in your convictions and not shrink back. This is where self-empowerment and boundaries intersect, when you empower yourself to assert your needs without fear, without apology. You get to decide what you tolerate, what you welcome into your space, and what you choose to keep at a distance. Boundaries are a way of reclaiming your power in a world that constantly asks for more of you. They are a safeguard for your time, your energy, and your emotional well-being. They allow you to show up as your best self without sacrificing your peace, your values, or your happiness. When you draw the line, you say, I know my worth, I know my limits, and I am worthy of respect. Strength and resilience are the twin pillars that hold you up when the storms of life come crashing in. They are not gifts you're born with, but qualities that are developed through experience, hardship, and the willingness to face challenges head on. Strength is what allows you to stand tall, even when life tries to knock you down. Resilience is what gives you the ability to bounce back after every setback, failure, and disappointment, often emerging stronger than you were before. Strength is the deep-rooted fortitude that doesn't crumble under pressure. It's the courage to keep moving forward when everything around you seems uncertain. Strength doesn't always look like someone who is physically powerful or loud and brash sometimes. Strength is quiet. It's a silent resolve that says, I won't give up. I won't let this defeat me. Strength is being able to show up every day, even when the weight of the world feels heavy on your shoulders. It's the inner fire that refuses to be extinguished, no matter how many times life tries to douse it. Resilience, on the other hand, is the ability to bend without breaking. It's the mindset that no matter how hard you fall, you'll always rise again. Life will knock you down, but resilience will pull you back up every single time. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship, but about learning how to face it, how to endure it, and how to come through the other side even stronger. It's the refusal to let life's difficulties define you or stop you from reaching your potential. Being strong doesn't mean you don't feel pain. It doesn't mean you don't get tired, frustrated, or discouraged. No, strength is not the absence of weakness or vulnerability. It's the courage to show up despite those feelings. Strength acknowledges the pain, faces the fear, but chooses to push forward anyway. You can be tired and still keep going. You can be afraid and still take action. You can be broken and still stand tall. That's what strength is, the power to keep moving in the face of adversity. Resilience is what turns pain into power. Every setback you face is an opportunity for growth if you have the resilience to learn from it. Life will try to teach you hard lessons. Some of them will be cruel, others unexpected, but all of them valuable. Resilience doesn't mean you never break. It means you refuse to stay broken. It's the ability to rise from your lowest point and not just survive, but thrive. Resilience is the determination to keep going, not in spite of the challenges, but because of them. You learn from every fall, grow through every failure, and build the strength to face even bigger battles down the road. Strength and resilience are closely tied to mindset. If you approach life with a mindset of I can't, you'll find yourself defeated before you even begin. But if you adopt a mindset of I am capable and I will find a way, you're already positioning yourself to win. These qualities are forged in the fire of adversity, and the more you face challenges with the right mindset, the more unshakable your foundation becomes. Resilience also comes from a deep understanding of your purpose. When you know why you're fighting, why you're pushing through the hardships, it gives you a deeper level of strength. Purpose is the anchor that holds you steady when the waves of life try to pull you under. It's the belief that there's something greater on the other side of the struggle, something worth enduring for. Resilience gives you the endurance to push through difficult seasons with the confidence that it's not forever. It's a season, not a sentence. Strength and resilience don't happen overnight. They're built with every choice you make, every challenge you face, and every time you decide to keep going when it would be easier to quit. They're earned through effort, through grit, and through the belief that you are capable of overcoming anything that stands in your way. Life will not always be kind, but your strength and resilience will ensure that you are always ready to face what comes. Tough love is not about being harsh, uncaring, or unkind. It's about being real. It's about stepping into someone's life and telling them the truth, even when the truth hurts. It's the kind of love that doesn't let people stay comfortable in their dysfunction or mediocrity. It's the kind of love that sees someone's potential even when they can't see it for themselves and refuses to allow them to settle for less than they're capable of. Tough love is not about making things easy, it's about making things right. When you love someone with tough love, you don't protect them from the consequences of their actions. You don't enable their bad behavior, their excuses, or their self-sabotage. You challenge them to rise above their excuses, face their flaws, and confront their fears. You love them enough to push them beyond their comfort zones and into their destiny. Sometimes the hardest thing to do for someone you care about is to stop shielding them from their own mistakes, to stop smoothing over the hard lessons they need to learn. Tough love says, I love you too much to let you stay in this place. I love you too much to let you waste your potential. It's easy to give soft love. Soft love tells people what they want to hear. Soft love wants to make everyone feel good, even if it means enabling bad habits or holding them back from growth. Soft love can be comfortable, but it's not always helpful. It's the kind of love that tells people it's okay, you don't need to change. It's the kind of love that avoids difficult conversations because it's easier to let things slide. But tough love doesn't give in to the comfort of complacency. Tough love gets in your face and says, you are capable of more than this. You are worth more than this. It's time for you to step up. Tough love can be uncomfortable, and it's often misunderstood. When you offer someone tough love, you may not be popular. You may not be appreciated in the moment. People may be upset with you. But here's the thing, tough love is rooted in truth and doesn't always feel good at first. It's a love that doesn't shrink from confrontation because it knows that growth can't happen without discomfort. Tough love requires you to be willing to stand in the fire with someone else and tell them you can do better and I'm not going to let you off the hook. But tough love isn't just about what you do for others, it's about what you do for yourself. You can't love someone else with tough love if you don't love yourself in the same way. Tough love starts with setting boundaries, demanding respect, and not tolerating things that don't align with your values. It's about holding yourself to a high standard and not allowing yourself to settle for anything less. Self-discipline, self-respect, and self-accountability are all forms of tough love. It's saying no to the things that hold you back, even when they feel good in the moment, because you know you're worth more than short-term gratification. Tough love forces us to confront our weaknesses. It forces us to deal with the things we'd rather avoid, the habits, the fears, the patterns that keep us stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. It's easy to stay in denial, to pretend everything is fine, to cover up the cracks with distractions and excuses. But tough love forces us to look at the hard truths we've been ignoring. It says you need to deal with this. You need to address it. You need to stop running from your own growth. For tough love to be effective, it must be delivered with compassion. It's not about tearing someone down. It's about building them up sometimes by tearing down the lies they've been believing. Sometimes it's about showing them what they're capable of, even when they can't see it themselves. Tough love isn't about being cruel. It's about being honest and committed to the other person's success. It's about wanting the best for them, even when it's difficult for them to see that in the moment. Ultimately, tough love is about transformation. It's the love that believes in your potential, even when you've lost faith in yourself. It's the kind of love that pushes you to face the pain, do the work, and grow into the person you were meant to be. It's the kind of love that says, I'm not going to let you stay where you are. I'm going to help you rise up and be who you were always meant to be. Even if it's tough along the way, tough love challenges us to be better versions of ourselves, stronger, wiser, and more accountable. It's the kind of love that ultimately leads to growth, success, and real change. Personal growth is the process of becoming the best version of yourself, a journey that requires intention, self-awareness, and a willingness to step outside your comfort zone. It's about evolving, improving, and pushing past the limitations that once held you back. Personal growth isn't a destination, but a continuous unfolding, a lifelong commitment to learning, changing, and becoming more than you were yesterday. The foundation of personal growth is self-awareness. You have to be willing to look at yourself honestly without rose-colored glasses and confront your weaknesses, insecurities, and areas for improvement. Self-awareness isn't about self-criticism, but about self-understanding. It's about acknowledging your strengths and your flaws without judgment, seeing yourself as a work in progress and being okay with that. You cannot grow if you don't know where you are starting from. The truth is, most people avoid self-awareness because it can be uncomfortable. But growth only happens when you face yourself fully and authentically. Personal growth requires an openness to change. Change is often met with resistance because we are creatures of habit. We like the familiar, the comfortable, the predictable. But growth happens in the spaces where you're challenged, where you're forced to adapt, and where you have to stretch beyond what you thought was possible. To grow, you must be willing to break free from the old patterns that limit you. You must be willing to step into the unknown, to try new things, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. Growth also involves overcoming fear. Fear is the biggest barrier to personal development. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. These are the voices that try to keep you small and stagnant. But personal growth means learning how to move forward in spite of fear, how to take action even when you feel uncertain, and how to trust that the process of growth will lead you to where you need to go. Fear will never fully go away, but as you grow, you'll learn to manage it, use it as fuel, and take bold steps regardless of it. One of the most powerful catalysts for growth is the willingness to challenge your beliefs and assumptions. Many of us operate from a place of limited thinking, shaped by past experiences, cultural conditioning, or the opinions of others. But growth comes from questioning those beliefs, asking yourself, is this truly serving me? Is this belief expanding my potential or limiting it? You have to be willing to expand your mind, to expose yourself to new ideas, and to challenge the narratives that have been holding you back. Personal growth is about becoming a lifelong learner, always seeking new knowledge, new perspectives, and new skills. Another critical aspect of personal growth is discipline. Growth requires consistent action. You can't wish for progress, and you can't simply wait for it to come to you. You must be disciplined in your habits, your choices, and your mindset. It's about showing up for yourself every day, even when you don't feel like it, even when the results aren't immediate. The small, consistent actions you take each day compound over time and lead to major transformation. Whether it's working on your health, honing your skills, or developing your character, discipline is what makes growth sustainable. You must be willing to make sacrifices, put in the work, and stay committed to your journey, regardless of how slow or difficult the progress may seem. Personal growth also demands resilience. There will be setbacks times when you fail, when you feel like you're not getting anywhere, when you doubt your ability to continue. Resilience is the ability to keep going in spite of those setbacks, to learn from your failures rather than be defeated by them. Personal growth isn't linear. There will be peaks and valleys, moments of progress and moments of struggle. But resilience is what allows you to pick yourself back up when you fall, to keep moving forward, even when the road gets rough, and to keep faith that every step, no matter how hard, is a step towards your greater self. An essential part of personal growth is setting and achieving goals. Growth requires direction. Without goals, you're like a ship without a rudder. You're drifting, unsure of where you're headed. Setting goals gives you purpose and focus. They provide clarity, motivation, and a roadmap for where you want to go, but goals also teach you valuable lessons about perseverance, discipline, and the importance of taking consistent action. The process of working toward a goal, even if you don't achieve it perfectly, shapes you into the person you need to become in order to achieve even greater things in the future. But perhaps the most profound aspect of personal growth is the shift in how you see yourself. When you commit to growth, you start to believe in your own potential. You begin to see challenges as opportunities, failures as lessons, and your own capabilities as limitless. Growth shifts your identity from someone who is stuck or limited to someone who is constantly evolving and expanding. You begin to see yourself as powerful, resilient, and resourceful. Personal growth leads to a profound self-transformation that changes not just how you approach life, but how life responds to you. When you grow, the world grows with you. Ultimately, personal growth is about stepping into your full potential. It's about becoming the person you were always meant to be, someone who is not defined by their past, their fears, or their limitations, but by their vision, their resilience, and their commitment to continuous improvement. It's about creating the life you desire, not by waiting for things to change, but by changing yourself first. Every step you take in growth is a step toward a more fulfilled, purposeful, and impactful life. So, standing your ground is about having the courage and conviction to hold firm to your beliefs, values, and boundaries, even when the pressure around you is intense. It's about refusing to be swayed, manipulated, or intimidated by external forces, whether it's other people's opinions, societal expectations, or the obstacles that life throws your way. Standing your ground isn't just about being stubborn for the sake of it. It's about being unwavering in your commitment to what is true, what is right, and what is aligned with your purpose. When you stand your ground, you are making a powerful declaration. I know who I am. I know what I believe. I know what I will tolerate and what I will not. It takes strength to stand your ground in the face of opposition. You will be challenged. You will be tested. People will try to convince you to compromise, to settle for less, or to conform to their standards. But standing your ground means having the courage to stay true to yourself, even when others want you to bend. It means refusing to dilute your values or to shrink back in the face of adversity. It's easy to go along with the crowd, to follow the path of least resistance. The world rewards conformity, the easy answer, the safe choice. But standing your ground requires you to do the opposite. It requires you to make decisions that may not be popular, decisions that others might not understand, but decisions that are right for you in your journey. You will face moments when standing your ground means being the only one in the room who is willing to speak up, to stand tall, and to say what needs to be said.